Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Settlement Survival. I hope you're in a fantastic and amazing day today. We just got our caravan back from Lorenzo, and we hit level 1 with Lorenzo. So we definitely got to check out some of this hardwood stuff this episode. And that means we got some workers back, which is great. We are kind of in trouble with our food. If you check it out, we're at about 60, which is not great. If we look at our production graph, we have quite the gap. So to kind of address that, what I have done is put in a couple of pastures over in here. We only have 3 for now, but these are 7x14. So I'm trying to scale up my pastures a little bit as we're going along here. And I will go ahead and share some of our buffaloes over there. And that way we will have more buffalo down over there. I also want to share some turkeys and geese over there as well. So we'll have all 3 of our critters down over in the new area, and we'll get that going with some more food generating. I will also be needing to get some more farms. We got to get farms going on a little bit more here. We're just not producing enough food, and it's going to be a problem if we can't fix it soon here. We should have the workers to do it. We have another batch of immigrants nearly here, and we got a new little area working great over on this side of the world. So yeah, we got to put a couple of farms in. I did lay out this road right here, and we should be able to have plenty of space to build some farms up over in this space. I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of farms here. Let's go with let's go with some 10x10 farms in this one. A little bit bigger for these farms over in here. I think we'll do 3 in here to start with. We'll see where we're sitting after that. So we'll 3 10x10s. All right, and it shouldn't take too long for those things to get built up. We are kind of in need of a little bit of storage space over here as well. So I'm kind of thinking at this intersection right in here, let's go ahead and we'll do that. We'll do a little storage yard in there. Let's make it a considerable size since we got a lot going on right here. We'll do a 10x10 there. Pasture number 10, good to go. Let's start with buffalo over here. So that's pasture 10. So let's go over in here. Let's take from 2 and let's transfer to pasture 10. Let's go for 3. And then let's also split up pasture 5 as well. So we got that underway. That'll be a really great thing to have going over in here. And then we will work on our farms. And I'm thinking over in here, for now, we're going to do rice. I think we're going to have to add in a couple more flax farms and get some more linen happening over in here as well. I think that would just make sense. So let's go ahead, and we have 3 for food, and I think we'll do 1 more farm. We'll do this one, of course, for some flax. Okay, we'll get that on the way. Over in here, we got our smithy completed. Have that making iron tools. And then our tailor, advanced tailor, over in here is working. I did set this as down jackets because we do have the materials to make the down jackets. If we click on this, we have the linen. We're working on the linen, but we have good amount of feathers. So this will be able to make down jackets. And these are a little bit better than the rough clothes. So we want to upgrade if we can upgrade. So that'll help our happiness a little bit. So that's garments. So that'll be a good thing. We want to get that really settled. We have 4 laborers now. So we are really in need of these immigrants. They will be here shortly. We got our watermill down here. Let's go ahead. We're kind of running low on domestic fuels. Let's go ahead and we'll do that. We'll leave these 2 people in here, and I'm noticing that we are kind of crushing it with wood here. We have almost 2,500 wood, which is excellent. Really happy that we have the wood figured out. But since we do have the wood figured out, I think I'm going to take a couple of people away from our wood production, and we're going to use these guys somewhere else. Somebody suggested in our comments to put in another herbalist hut, but work on bandages since we can now use linen. So we got this guy set up. We're going to go for bandage. We'll use some herbs and some linens, make some bandages. That'll be good. And we have another thing we have to address, and that's going to be our person here is up for re-election. We could do that. We need 5,000 coins, which we could do. But I think we're going to go ahead and change. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, I like both these. So livestock acquired cattle. So this is going to be a beef cow, not a milk cow. And then duration of tools, clothing, and backpacks plus 20. I'm going to go for that one. I like that a little bit more. We'll get that happening. That'll be really great for our resources. And I am getting concerned. I need to look up to see when this Lunar New Year event ends. Because once it does, I have a feeling we're going to be in some hot water with some food. We are going to need to get that worked out here pretty quickly, I think. Ooh, we got another pasture ready to go. Okay, so let's go ahead. Kind of speaking of food, I guess. Let's go for geese, because we're making things with feathers down here, like I just mentioned. So let's get some geese over there. We will transfer. Let's go for 3 again to 11. Do the same thing here. Got those guys waddling on over to the new pasture. That'll be an awesome thing to supply this new area with some more of those goods. All right, so our interim housing is looking all right. We should be okay to take in these new immigrants with the current housing situation that we have. But I think we will put in a couple more. And we will probably also want to add in another masonry workshop. And the reason for that is because we are building cut stone roads all over the place here, right? We are going to need some more people to make some of that stuff. I think we only have the one person working now. Let's go ahead and we'll just add a worker instead of adding another whole building. But it does look like we are out of workers here. So we've kind of been expanding quite a bit down over in here, adding in this new area. But we've been able to use all those laborers, which is really good. We have the 3 people on the farm. Okay, that's where a bunch of people went to. Let's go ahead. We'll start out with just the one farm for now until we get these immigrants here. And we're going to go ahead and set up rice seeds and get that started. It's March, so good timing on the completion of that farm. And, ooh, I would really like to get this one going as well, just because of the timing. Let's go like that. You know, I just said I wasn't going to do this. Well, let's go ahead and do it, and we'll flex out a couple quarry people, I guess. And it looks like we are reaching cap with a lot of different things around town, which is not a terrible thing. These tailors can't make down jackets because we need to upgrade the tailors, which we could do, and we probably want to. So let's go ahead. We're going to upgrade the one tailor for now. We're going to leave the other tailor going until we get both of them upgraded. So let's go ahead. We'll upgrade. We should be able to afford it. We can do that. Great. Refined fuels, 200. Great. Let's bump this up to 500. We're going to need the fuels eventually, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, looks like we're getting some planting started. That looks good. And let's go back down over in here. We're going to get our immigrants here very soon, and we are ready for our turkey. So let's go ahead. We'll set that up, and then go ahead and shift our turkeys down there. All right, we're good on our pastures for now. So that's awesome. I'm really hoping that this is going to help smooth out our food problems with some more pastures happening over in here, as well as all these new farms. I think that'll be good stuff. Since these are slightly bigger, I am going to put 3 workers in there. If we are noticing that we have too many, we can adjust. Looks like our immigrants have arrived. Let's go ahead and accept those 15 people. Wow. Okay, so let's pause for just a second. It's pretty late in the season to plant. But we might be able to get away with something here. The cabbage is a very quick harvest period of 80 days. So is rice, I guess. And it looks like the cabbage and rice are the same growth temperature, which kind of surprises me because cabbage is usually a cooler weather tolerant plant. We're going to go ahead and put some rice seeds in there, just like the other ones. And we will turn that one back on. Let's get our game rolling again. Great. And then here we're going to go for flax. And we'll put 2 workers in that one. It might be a little bit short, but that's all right. Okay, and then we were also talking about the masonry workshop, but we weren't going to add that, were we? We're going to put one in. We'll put one in. We probably won't utilize it, but we'll have it for when we do need it. I think we'll need it eventually. Okay, we got that guy. And the other thing that I wanted to do was the textile mill down over in here. Just because now that we will have flax coming in, we are going to need a way to process it. But before I do that, I want to check a space thing on a mine right here. I was thinking about putting that mill right in here, but if we block our mine off, I don't want to do that. And it looks like we might be able to do both. Wouldn't that be ideal? All right, let's go right there for our mine, and then let's go back for that textile mill. Look at how slick that is. We were able to do both, and we got our road in there. Looks awesome. And we'll get these guys built up. I'm going to pause this mine. We don't need it at this moment. I just want to be ready. The textile mill, on the other hand, we want that one built up. So we'll leave it just like that. And we have 9 laborers, so we're looking good. But we are seeing some meat pops. That's not good. Let's go ahead and let's gather a bunch of plants. Let's see if we can find any more food. Kind of scavenge around here and get a little bit more food coming in. Not a whole lot, it looks like, unfortunately. But we'll gather up what we can, and it's almost harvest season. It's July. It looks like we are pulling in some rice, so we should be hopefully okay for the next season here. We do have 2 more fishing docks in. We could do a couple more workers in both of those. Let's just leave it at 6 laborers for now. We need to have some laborers, of course, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that. We'll leave some. And we have to go check out our new hardwood things. So let's go ahead. We'll search for hardwood. We have the hardwood nursery. This is gonna take planks and clay. We can handle both those things. So let's go ahead and we'll get our hardwood nursery started up. And let's go ahead and we'll plop it down. I think it will work pretty good right over in here. Go ahead, get that guy going. And then we are going to need, let's check our smithy quick, because I want to create some hardwood tools. Okay, it's just regular old smithy. And look at this. So for 6 hardwood, this is going to be the only place we're going to be using hardwood for a little bit. We can make hardwood tools, durability of 250. And then our iron tools are a durability of 150. So we are going to be saving all the timber and all the iron ore that we are currently using for tools, and we will make the hardwood tools instead. So for now, since we don't have it operating, I'm going to leave these at iron tools, but we will be able to swap those soon, which will be good. Our tailor is good to go. Let's go ahead and update this to down jackets. But while we're here, I want to check costumes really quick. Okay, so linen and leather to make costumes. Now, I'm looking at costumes because we are going to be needing the theater here pretty soon. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swap this to costumes. Let's get a little stockpile of costumes happening, and let's go ahead and check out livability. So we have our herbalist hut here. We got that. Let's go for the bathhouse and the theater. So we'll have 2 more points. I want to do these because I want to get our happiness and our health up. We addressed the clothing issue in the last episode, so that should be okay. And we do know of a food shortage going on right now, but we don't need tech points to enable to deal with that. We'll be able to build a couple more farms or something to help alleviate the need. So let's go ahead. We'll check our statistics here again. And it looks like, yeah, we're still shy. Probably about 2 farms worth of rice here. So let's go ahead and we will absolutely build in a couple more of those guys. All right, 2 more farms on the way. I'm going to probably have to rearrange how this is laid out because I do want to add in that fertile soil buff here eventually once we get the building to do so. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and do that. We've got our textile mill up and running. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get linens happening like we mentioned. Got tons of flax, looking great. And since we do have so much flax, let's come up over in here and let's change this standard farm to be rice seeds instead. We don't need to have 3,000 flax just sitting around. We'll go ahead and make that into the rice. Happy New Year. As the year comes to a close, citizens are checking their inventory, wondering what supplies they should prepare for celebrating the new year. We need some cakes for sure. Fruit cake, 300. Wow. All right, so we mentioned this a couple episodes ago where we can go ahead and ban the fruit cakes so that we can sell those later. Let's go ahead and we will search for fruit cake. Current stock of 0 because it hasn't quite got to our inventory yet. So let's go ahead and we'll ban this. And I am curious to see what fruit cakes would sell for. And it looks like up to 44 a piece. So not too bad. We have quite a few things to build here. Kind of running a little slim on our laborers because we have that whole new area built up. But we could still at least get a couple of these things started. So we got our hardwood nursery nearly completed. Let's go ahead and check to see what else we got unlocked over in here. We have our soap workshop. We are going to absolutely put that in. So remember when we put in our apiaries right in here, that was for anticipation of our soap workshop. We'll finally be able to utilize the soap workshop and the beeswax for that. And I think we'll go ahead and we'll plop this guy kind of over in here. And I'm kind of thinking we don't really have a good industrially area going on. I usually like to focus that stuff, have a spot in the town for industrial area. We kind of have this going on. I don't really like this. I don't have a lot of space up here. So we'll kind of have to think about where we want to start moving that type of thing. And I'm kind of thinking, oh, okay, getting interrupted here. New citizens acquired. Let's go ahead and take that, maybe. Efficiency of processing structures. Let's go for the citizens. I'm kind of thinking about building the industrial stuff down over in this space. Kind of working our way over in here. And probably out this way a little bit more. Okay, so with that many more workers, we should be able to build a couple more things. So we got our theater here. Let's go ahead and we'll get the theater. And we want to try and capture as many of these homes as possible. Because, like I mentioned, we're kind of getting a little tight in here. We may need to do more than one. It looks like if we put this here, it captures most of the houses. But if we move it right there, it captures all of the houses. So here's what we're going to do. We got to take these 4 houses out of here. We'll go ahead and demo those. And we're going to have to wait for these things to get demoed. But then we'll put the theater right there. and that will be able to encompass all the houses we got, and I think that'll be a better place. And then we're gonna have to check, yep, we need some more houses built up. So let's pause the game for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and put a bunch more houses up in here. All right, we got plenty of houses on the way here. We should have the wood to do it. Shouldn't be a big of a deal to get those things going. So since we have a couple more workers, let's absolutely get this started up. We need to get these rice seeds in here, and we can get to planting. It's only February, so we got plenty of time to do that. So that's great. I'm glad that we caught that in time. So if we do have a couple of deaths from food, it'll only be a few because these 2 farms should carry us over, hopefully. And here we go. We got another lantern guy floating down the river. So let's go ahead and solve and confirm. And we got some fireworks. Okay, we can sell some of those. That's great. And our hardwood nursery is good to go. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple people out of there, and we'll go for hardwood seeds and get some of those started. That'll be awesome. And then we can swap our smithies over to hardwood tools, and then we'll be looking great. All right, so we have that space open for a theater. Let's go ahead and plop that down like we mentioned. Great, that'll be awesome to get this. That's going to help our happiness. And with the soap workshop getting completed here soon, we will be able to get some soap going, and that's going to help our health. Now I'm noticing here that we are going to need some bricks for this. So I don't think we have any tech points available currently. That is true, we don't. But we are going to be able to consider what we're going to do next. And I think it is time to get the calcining kiln. So once we get the tech points to do it, I think we'll go for the calcining kiln, and we will get that stuff started up. It's such an important piece of the game. And we'll go ahead and we'll get those going on. We'll get some bricks going. And we'll be ready to continue to expand in our tech trees, moving along quite nicely, I think, in our technologies and the size of the settlement. I think everything is going great. So I'll bring you back once we get that tech point, and then we'll deal with that. All right, there's our calcining kiln. We'll get that guy on the way. And we are having some starvation deaths, unfortunately. Looks like we've had a good handful here. We did know that was going to be a problem. I got people gathering up some wild veggies here, so hopefully we can deal with that shortly. On the plus side of a starvation problem, we're gonna have more housing space, so there's that, I guess. Yeah, not what I want to have going on, but hopefully these rice fields get done soon, and then we will be able to pull in some more food that way, and I hope we'll be good to go here. We're gonna lose a bunch of people, unfortunately, but it's kind of the situation we put ourselves in. So let's go ahead and get our calcining kiln started up. We got to put in a couple of them, and I'm hoping that this little space that I built right in here will work. Ooh, it's close. So I noticed I had a road going in here, and it really kind of killed the space that we had. So I took that out of there, and I think it's not going to allow access to the mine, but you can see people are walking in there anyways. So I think that will be okay. Let's go over in here. So we were talking about this area for some production stuff. Let's go ahead and we'll do that with our kilns to begin with. Let's go for 2 to get started. 1 for brick, 1 for glass. So we'll do that. And boy, I hope we get this food figured out here soon. We're losing lots of people, more than I thought was going to happen. Let's see. So we should be able to house this. Ripeness, 92%. Okay, great. Yeah, we're harvesting. That's good. We'll get that figured out, and we'll get some of these people fed here, hopefully. And then after that, we'll have to see kind of what the aftermath is, and we may need to flex some things around in order to get more of our important buildings back up and operational, but we'll see where we're at. I did just take 2 people out of the forest farm there to get 2 more laborers, and I think I'll do the same for the grove. Coffee is definitely not a need right now. We could probably back off on the smithy as well, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And is there anything else that we can kind of kick back for right now? Oh, it looks like we're at max 4 linens, which is great, so we can turn that off as well. We'll go ahead and we'll do that. I do want this kind of running over in here because it's the source for this neighborhood, but I think for now, because since we're kind of in a little bit of a crisis here, let's get this food addressed first, and then we'll kick that stuff back on. And if we need to add in a couple more farms, we will. Eventually, we'll end up needing more farms, of course, but hopefully the pastures, once they get going, they will be a good source for us, which they should be. Looking ahead, I think what we want to do for our next couple points, I did mention this a little bit a couple episodes ago, we want to make sure that our food is under control. Now with the problems that we're having, and when the event ends, I think we'll be kind of in some trouble. So let's go for some salt making and food processing next. The salt making is going to allow us to make salted meat and salted fish, and the butcher is going to allow us to get the meat chops for those salted meats. So it's a little bit of more processing, but it's going to be a little bit better food, as well as this veggie processing plant that's going to allow us to create vegetables into veggie salads, and I think that will be a great addition to our menu. So we'll get that stuff happening, and I think this will be a good spot to call this episode of Settlement Survival. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you in the next one.